Wow, it is the end of season 4 for this thing we call Tablecast.
It's so crazy that in some ways I feel like this season has just we've done so much. But then when I think about it, I was like, wow, that went really, really fast.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because we did like 2 episodes a month. And I know we did that last season, but it was just us talking. And so this, like, just having so many different people
Yeah.
and everyone's um, just input and contribution to our conversation. Like, we've had an awesome season.
Yeah, it's so crazy to one, accidentally start a podcast. I don't know if I'll ever get over the fact that we accidentally started a
Yes.
podcast, and who knew that that was a thing. I didn't, but I'm glad that I do now. So to go from that to, going through our lives and our story and making it a podcast and being intentional that it's a podcast, to having it become this thing now where we have guests and we started a media company, and this is the official podcast now of our media company. And we didn't know going into season 4 what it was really. I mean, we had an idea of what we wanted to do, but we didn't know what it was going to look like.
Oh, no.
And looking back, I call it a success. Ultimately, like, just so much fun getting to meet the people we met.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, people from different countries and
So
like
I
people
just,
I would have never met otherwise. And to
yeah.
sit down and have conversations with them, which is like my favorite thing to do. So I would say overall, season 4 for me was a success. Yes, it seemed like a lot and not a lot at the same time. So I was like, wow. But
Yeah. So I just want to go through the list of who we've
yeah.
talked to. So we started off, our very first episode was with Sarah Jane.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that was like, honestly, our first really big go at like actually
Interviewing
interviewing. And
somebody.
so
Yeah.
it was a little clunky. And
Right.
she was so gracious with us
Yes.
and
Well,
so
and I think
kind.
that was the other thing too with like, we're going from like conversational to interview. And then towards the end, I did have a lady. She's like, "Oh, I listened to your podcast and it's very think tank." And I was like, I'm going to have to sit with that and be like, am I trying to be a think tank? Like, okay, so that
Yeah.
was it was good feedback. I don't know how I feel about it at the moment, but yes, we tried to interview somebody and then go ahead.
Yeah.
Who was next?
No, so we had Sarah Jane, we had Ruth Hopsepian,
Mhm.
Julie Zine
From
Coleman. Yep.
Canada. Love that lady.
Julie Zine Coleman
Yep.
and Kristen Rigg were back to back. Those are like,
And those ladies are in our tribe.
yeah,
Like,
those are our people.
those
We
are our
love
people.
them. We love them. Um, we had Kylie Martin, and
Mhm.
she joined us all the way from New
New
Zealand.
Zealand, yes, and she was amazing. And then I saw her, she was interviewed on a lady who I listened to. And so I thought I was like, dang, I talked to that lady too.
Yeah. Maddie Downey, who
Yeah.
she was, I believe she joined us from Canada when she was
Yes. Yes, she's from
when
Canada
yep,
too.
Pastor Mark Soursby, first time we ever had a man
Mm-hmm.
on our podcast.
So many firsts in this
Yep,
season.
Sheila McIntyre,
Yes.
and
That lady
then
was so sweet and she's from New York.
yes,
Yeah.
our friend Norman Smith that we
Yep.
met at Podcast Movement.
Yep. He's a
Like
missionary from Japan. And
uh,
then Amy
Amy Fritz,
Fritz, yeah, of
Amy
the
Fritz,
Untangled
also
Faith
yep, also
podcast.
from we met her at Podcast Movement.
Right.
And so we've had so many amazing conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And like to sit down and think like, oh, this is like one of my friends. Like I bought books for people as Christmas gifts and was like, oh, I'm buying my friend's book for my family
Yeah.
member. Like I know this person, even though like I've only met a handful of them in person, face to
Yeah.
face. It's been an amazing season, and we are ending a little bit earlier.
Yeah, than we have in the past. Our other
Than
seasons
we
have run
have
a little longer.
than we have in the past. We did this for a few reasons. First of all, for us to be able to have ourselves in a position where if we want to take time off during Christmas and New Year's and have time with our family and be able to enjoy time, we're in a position where we can do that. And we don't have, that's a beautiful thing about podcasting, is there's really no rules.
No, right. Right. You have to be true to yourself. And then that's what we are agreeing to do. So we're like, yeah, I feel like season 4 wrapped up wonderfully.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were like, no, I think it's time to wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
Well, because we batch recorded a lot.
Yeah.
So we were so far ahead in interviews that when we came to the end, it was like, oh, like this is our last interview. Okay, we can scramble at the last minute to try to find people. But at the same time, like, then is that really being true to what we're like? Are we just throwing people on for the sake of having more episodes? But another thing is to be able to, we really feel strongly that we are to tell our story. If you've been with us at Tablecast for seasons 2 and 3, you got the front row seat.
You actually got to see the front row seat.
The insanity,
to the adventure of
we were telling those stories in the moment, and in a lot of ways it was healing to be able to talk about it, but also there was some rawness there that we just really didn't do ourselves or the story justice. And so we're going back, and so being able to really have the time to focus on the Burning Butterflies podcast and give that the energy that
in case you didn't know, we started another podcast. But that's not to take away from this, because this is going too. But and that's something I've really liked about this Tablecast podcast coming out of the Come to the Table podcast and now becoming the official podcast of Asha Media, is the natural flow that this has taken, and how what a gift that has been. That's probably been the best part for me, is just seeing how the things that we do and the directions we want to go, how they work out the way they're supposed to and they wrap up the way they're supposed to. And so I've really appreciated that.
Yeah. So moving forward, we're going to be doing Burning Butterflies. We are still Asha Media.
Yeah, we're media-ing.
We have taken on clients.
We've got new things coming for 2024. It's going to be great.
We've taken on clients. We still have the magazine is going to be continuing to roll, and we'll come back with another season of Tablecast, and because I think it is important to give people a platform, give people a place and a space to share their voices. And so that's something that we're very passionate about, is giving people that opportunity. And so
I'm excited to see where season 5 starts, lands, finishes. I don't know, gets going. I don't know what we're going to do for season 5.
We don't know what that'll look like.
It's going to be fun.
But we just hope that everyone has had a wonderful Christmas, that you were able to find time to rest and relax and be with family and be with loved ones. We know that this is a difficult time for a lot of people, just this season. And so we just want every one of our listeners to know that we appreciate them and we love them. And we have some good things coming up this new year.
Oh yeah, lots of fun stuff. And we hope you had a good Christmas and New Year. And we look forward to getting to hang out here real soon.